let's talk about
Mhm.
unity.
What?
Unity.
Yeah.
And how they are, they're saying leftists,
Yeah.
political parties must unite and they must be together. Talk to us about that, President.
We agree.
What
We agree.
And who must?
All the left forces must come together.
Mm.
All the progressive forces must come together. But it must not be done in a criminalized manner, in a syndicate manner, as if it's an operation. You know what I like about Dali is that there was a meeting of the opposition parties which was called by Zuma. And I said, I'm not going. So I asked Floyd and Marshall to attend the SG. They went and Dali was there. Dali went to make a presentation of a paper in that first meeting where he said the EFF must close down with the other parties and then form something under Zuma's leadership. I mean, things happen the way they happen. I mean, Floyd and Marshall, you know him, he's just there and he speaks when it is necessary. But Floyd is the one who was leading the discussion. Who said, no ways, it's not going to happen, and all of that. And then he comes back extremely shocked that Dali is not only proposing it, he has written it down. He has had time to think about it and wrote it down. So I said, no, sir. Then we agreed that we must meet, all parties must go consult their leadership, blah, blah. What is our position? I said, but that's madness. We can't do that. We closed the EFF to Zuma. Not 1 year. It was not even formed at that time. To what? Like, to do what? I don't understand that. Then perhaps Dali realizes they are not doing a good job. He comes himself to me when they were all there as the officials in the 5th floor. He says, no, he wants to see me. I said, no, sharp, come. But I knew what he was going to tell me. So I brought Floyd and I brought Marshall into the meeting. And then he said that. He says, so I told him, no, it's not going to happen. I don't agree with that. And there's no EFF that is going to close shop. In his skillful way, you know, him said, okay, plus we're late now in the elections. Maybe after the elections, we can engage about it again. I said, no problem. And then again, Floyd and Marshall went back to the meeting to give their party structures a position. They came back and said to me, the president of ATM, Zungula, said, of all of us here, parties, the only party with a national footprint, which is properly established with machinery, is the EFF. Let's collapse this thing. Let's collapse all of us into the EFF. Olomisa was in that meeting. That president of the PAC was there. I don't know if Carl Neos was there or what. They were all there. I still refuse. I said, I'm not going. I'm not part. I don't agree with that. And then that's what they said. Zungula is the one who said, actually, the EFF is the way. Then Zuma responded and said, no. Can you imagine an old person voting for EFF? These old people will never agree to vote for the EFF. And he told them the footprint of how, if we come together, we're going to get the votes from where, and all of that. And then after the second meeting, we came back. Then they say, no, Zuma wants to see me. 4 eyes. I said, no problem, I'll go. Dali says he's going to come, but I already know what Dali is up to. So I bring Vuyani. I said, Vuyani, let's go together. Now, when we entered the meeting, President Zuma asked me to stay in the meeting with him. And then Dali and some other chubby guy, I can't remember what was his name, but he came from President Zuma's side, and Vuyani asked them to excuse us so that we can have a discussion. So I remained with President Zuma. He started making that presentation and all of that. But Floyd told me that in the first meeting, Zuma addressed them for 3 hours. In the second meeting, it was relatively better. He addressed them for 2 hours. So I said, how do you allow that? Say, hey, we're thinking maybe General will stop him or something. Hey, but we sit there and just listen. I said, no problem. So when they said he wants to see me, 10, 15 minutes into the discussion, I interjected him because at the back of my mind was like, you're not going to address me for 2 hours. It's not going to happen. Not 3 hours. I said, no, Baba, but I was thinking, you endorse the EFF. And then after endorsing the EFF, we'll have a proper discussion because we are now late, just on the eve of the elections. And then we can talk about what are the issues that you want us to take up in the immediate and all of that. And then he said, well, it's too late because I'm launching a party on the 16th of December. And I think we're like 2 weeks, 3 weeks before that. So hard luck. But let's take up this discussion after the elections. The meeting ended. If it took long, it's 20 minutes. We're done. And then we opened the door for those guys to come back. They were all like, so quick. I was like, no, we know what we want. Because it was not going to happen. And I don't regret our position that which we took against President Zuma at the time. And this I asked Floyd if he thinks he has forgiven us for what we have done to him. I don't think he has forgiven us for that. And it doesn't matter, but we were not misled. We're not misled. Everything else we articulated, it was a correct position of the EFF, and it remains the correct position of the EFF. Having developed those positions around Zuma as the EFF, we now say this guy must now be our leader. We can't agree to that. We can't agree to that. So, and that's the thing I respect about Dali, because he has been open about it. He has been speaking about it, and one day, when I write a book, I will have a lot of stories to tell. Even on how Dali became Zuma's lawyer on some of these matters. So, so this morning when I woke up to the news, I was like, it is what it is. Yeah. So he has sent me a message. First, he sent me a message about the birthday of his daughter turning 21st. So I didn't respond because I could see what Dali was doing. So I knew if he sends me invitation to a 21st birthday party, it means he has sent to everyone, which means we're all going to be united under Dali's leadership. And then he's going to project himself as this guy who brought all of them under one roof. So I said, no, I'm not responding because I'm not going there. And then he sent me now a text a few days after that he wants to see me urgently because he knows Parliament is in recess. He can come to the office, or I go to his house, or he comes to my house. I didn't respond. And because we are so used to this now, my wife says to me, he wants to say his goodbyes. No. I'm not good for. I'm not good for goodbyes. So
to the end of
I'm fine. I don't want. So let him do what he wants to do. So we respect his decision, and there's nothing we can do about it. He has been there. I know of the work they've been doing. I know of the work he has been doing and all of that. So this has never been a shock to me. It was just about when is it about to happen. It's going to happen anytime, but we just don't know when. So it eventually happened, and we're fine.
Perfect. Thank you for our first episode of our special broadcast president, the outgoing president. So if you're going to get nominated there.
So when you say outgoing president, you are right. And of all these political parties that claim to be democratic. We are the only organization after the ANC which goes to a conference and the president gets to be told your term of office has ended. Please, thank you very much, leave the stage to go and join others. In between that pronouncement and the election of the new president, the EFF does not have president. So, and that's what succession means. So anything can happen. The good lobbyist can come in between that space and lobby nicely and get a completely new president. That's why when I'm elected president of the EFF, I'm not called the re-elected president of the EFF. They say the newly elected president because you are only president for that term. And when they say you are new, they mean your mandate is new. You've got a new mandate. And only a democratic organization will do that. Look at, I mean, we've got all these problems that are going on now. This one is going to leave after the conference. This is going. A dictator will have all the reasons to say, no, let's not go to a conference and see how this thing goes about. You can justify your stay by losing the current, dynamics. Another dictator can come and say, our term is 5 years. We only served 3 years because the other 2 years, there was COVID. So you need to extend our term with 2 years so that we can have our full 5 years and implement our mandate. But we don't do that because we know dictators at all, not because we're seeking to convince them. They know we're not. We're the most democratic organization, but very decisive. And that doesn't allow ill-discipline. Because of the order and discipline, they say we're dictators. But none, Herman Mashaba, with the Bunny from the Oppenheimers, no conference. Peyton McKenzie, Mapantiti, no conference. Zuma, MKP, no conference. You can go on and on. None of them hold a conference. And they are not pretentious about it. They don't say, maybe we'll see it. They say, no, there's not going to be any conference here. They are not called dictators. But ourselves who go to be held accountable, political report, organizational report, treasurer's report, accountable. You are being held accountable. And then get to be subjected to re-election if you are available and still lose. Yet you are called a dictator because they want to delegitimize, the EFF. Helen Zille makes it very clear. The white monopoly capital said we must protect Ramaphosa against the EFF. And she goes further to say there are only 2 political parties in South Africa. It's the EFF and the DA. Because our policy positions are very clear and we do not agree. And she's right. I think as she gets old, she starts telling the truth, raw as it is, and it's not good for them, but she's just talking and telling the truth the way it is. Why should Ramaphosa be protected from the EFF and not the rest of these other political parties? Why do